So yeah, so what I wanted to say was that what we've introduced is we're gonna have an onboarding. So don't worry. Oh, this is Ntantla. Oh, geez. Okay. Hello, Ntantla. We've been the mystery.
Yep.
Ntantla. Mm. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are
We've
you?
been trying to figure out who's this. Now we've got you. Fantastic. Welcome. Welcome coming on board.
It's me.
Um, so what I wanted to mention was that, yeah, so quickly, so newbies that come on, those people who don't know about Value Add, we'll have an onboarding. If you haven't told you this, we've actually putting it into the calendar. Once a month, we'll have an onboarding. But what we wanted to do is just talk about the way forward. So what's happened in Value Add in the last 6 months has been quite dramatic in terms of number of people who've joined, as well as the number of programs that we've got. And also the number of support that we've got from patrons who are sponsoring all of you that are on at the present moment. There's a couple of things. The one is that we have broken up what we have now from courses. We've got courses and we've got programs, right? And the courses and the programs are certifiable. Now, why is certificates important for you? Well, I'm predicting the future for you. There'll be a requirement for skills more so than qualifications in the next 5 to 10 years time. People are going to ask you, how are you learning, relearning, uplearning, unlearning, and continuously learning? And you're not going to be able to bring out your MBA degree, and you're definitely not going to be able to bring out your LLB, right? Because that's what you did then. The question is going to be asked is, how are you continuously upgrading yourself? One, technically in the skill that you're in. So Nico and Matapelo, you're in law. So in law in that case, but also in everything else, communications, presentation, teamwork, all the skills that come into fold. And you're going to have to produce proof that you're upskilling and learning. So what we've decided is to say that we're going to break our all the things that we do, our modules, into courses and into programs. Courses have got a defined time. So you're on a self-mastery program. Bonolo, I think you're on 3. You're on self-mastery, social media, and valuepreneur. Hillman, you're on 2 as well, valuepreneur and self-mastery, and Nhlanhla, I think you're on social media. And you ladies are on self-mastery. So it's important for you to know that this is going to come out as a certification at the end of the course, right? That's going to require 2 things. Firstly, for you to get it, we need to, for courses, you need to complete the course. So if you go into the website, you'll see the difference between a course and a program. What's a program and what's a course? Self-mastery is a course, social media is a course. It's got a defined period of time, number of programs that are run in that time. When you end of that time, you'll get a certificate. If somebody says, what have you been doing to improve yourself? You can produce all these different certificates that say, this is what I've been doing to improve myself. Some of them you can even go online, and there are other companies and other, different offerings that are there. So that's the first thing. As a consequence of that, we're going to need to manage attendance, right? So we haven't been managing attendance in per se, but from 2021, we're going to have to do that. With regards to, so that after 6 months, you can put your hand up and say, hey, I need a list of those things that I have learned. Please give it to me in the form of a certificate, and we'll be able to do that for you. So attendance is going to be important. The third thing is that as a consequence of attendance and monitoring attendance, a key element is going to be registry. So we're going to send all this out to you anyway. So you know how we send out the registration requirements, and then sometimes we spoil you and we send you the link, right? Right? We can't send the link. You're going to have to register for when it's social media or when it's, but you know how Zoom works. Once you've registered once, that's it. The moment you get it, it comes up with your name, and all you have to do is press register, and it already registers you. So it's not an administration hassle. That way, at the back end of Zoom, we know you've been there, and then we can also manage the registration and then give you the data and the feedback as well with regards to what you've been able to do.
And the best thing to do, if I may just add, the best thing, because a lot of people forget that they do have a course coming up that afternoon. When the Zoom sends you a link, it normally says add this to my calendar. So whether you're using Apple or Android, you can either say add this to my Google Calendar or add this to my to my Apple Calendar. And you then choose, do you want a notification 30 minutes before or 10 minutes before, so that Ntombi also doesn't have to, then you don't have to rely on Ntombi to continually remind you. So you already know that it's in your calendar. You can schedule your time better and get your notifications from your cell phone, because we're always on our phones anyway.
Very good. The other thing that we're also introducing is offline. So there will be occasions, look, it's best to be online live because you get to see me live and refer live. But if you can't do that and you for whatever reason you're going to miss it, we're going to have offline. We already got them, but we're going to make it in such a way that we can monitor that you've gone offline and done it, right? You've gone through the program for the hour. So we will have offline programs that give you the capability to at least tick off the box and say, that's what I've done. You guys, trust me, you're ahead of the game. But certification is going to be a big thing. So whatever you're doing in life right now, try and get it. It doesn't have to be accredited. Again, that's something that's going to die. People just want to know that, Bonolo, you are uplifting yourself consistently. And you need to be able to show them that you're uplifting yourself consistently. So that's the other thing. So there will be an online version that we are developing as well. The other point that I need to stress is there are funders behind this. Matapelo and Nico, you know who your funders are. She will be asking to know whether or not you attend. So even her joking, she wants to know that her money is getting somewhere, right? So behind everybody, there are funders. We need to have the fiduciary responsibility of ensuring that the funders get the value worth, right? In other words, we say to them, yes, apologies, phone's about to die. I'll make sure to ask questions where I can. Okay. Nhlanhla, yeah, let's stay on as long as you can. We're going to give 2 minutes for a few minutes for questions just now, and then we'll end off at 5. But what I wanted to say is that we've got funders that we need to go back to say, Nhlanhla is attending, Bonolo is attending, Nico is attending, Matapelo is attending, Gilman's attending, all is good. But on top of that, we're also beginning to have a funding / interaction with you. So we had one last month, and we're going to be having them quarterly. So those ones, folks, we're going to try and coordinate timetables so that attendance is compulsory, because you want to pitch up to your funders. Yes, you too, Matapelo and Nico, I know you're with your funder every day. But in this case, it's important to meet up with the funders and just give gratitude for some of the stuff that you're going to be getting. A lot of the courses coming are not going to be me. I'm doing self-mastery. Refuelway is doing social media and branding. I might be doing Valuepreneur, but that might move. There are other international / whatever people who are doing those programs. We are also now, because of the people growing in numbers, inviting guests to come and be part of these things. So it is important that when you can't attend, you please tell us. You please let us know, so that we know what the numbers are going to be in any given particular point, because we are asking people from Career Academy, from leadership masterclasses and all that. We're asking people to please show up. Cool. That's it. Any questions, thoughts, views, ideas, perceptions? None. All right.
One point that you didn't mention, Vic, and I know you didn't mention this because you're very nice, is that this is, we're being funded. Well, you guys are being funded for this, and should for some whatever reason you start slacking, you know, there are other people who could use this opportunity. You know, we'd rather have Dinana or, you know, whoever, you know, give their 300 rands every month, 350 every month to a person who's actually going to use this and value this value add program and everything. So there are people that I particularly am raising eyebrows, mostly who are not here, as you can see, raising eyebrows because this is a great opportunity and people are paying for it and out of the kindness of their hearts. So if people are not going to attend and use this opportunity, then there's a lot of other people who would rather use this and we would give that opportunity to. So I think that's also important to keep at the back of your mind. And we understand that, you know, if there is a clash with your class, for example, or you're still in a meeting, whatever cases, do let us know. We understand. And because we're going offline, then there's capabilities for you to always catch up with that work later on. But if you're just going to go then a whole month or 2 months with zero silence, you know, whatever the case is, then we'll start having the tough talks, or I will have the because that's
so
what I'm good at.
And you're right. Look, I mean, there's no fuzzing that. One of the important things about value add is teaching life skills, right? And life skills are how are you going to interact in the bigger world. So what we do is, for example, we'll be sending a lovely letter to everybody else who didn't pitch up and saying to them, that's just not how you behave. You know, if somebody sends a message and says there's such and such a time for a meeting, you either say, I can't attend the meeting because I'm busy, right? But what you don't do is just not pitch up or not say anything and do it consecutively. And as we say, we are growing. What we now starting to have is a pool of people who want to fund versus the number of people who you know, want to get involved. And I know, I think, can't remember if it was you, Nico, or somebody who wanted to go into the social media. I think somebody wanted to go into the social media program, and you know, we'd rather take from somebody else who's not shown up today, give it to you guys and say, hey, there's funding for a social media program. Hillman is always there in every program, and he's been doing it since January, I mean, since July, and we've actually put him on a program as well on top of that. And the more, as I say, there's a networking program not run by me, by the networking specialist. We've got marketing program coming up, which is run by a very skilled marketer. We've got, whatchamacallit, what's the other ones? A retrenchment job uncertainty program run by a very skilled retrenchment. We've got coaching, life coaching, and business coaching by a coaching expert that's going to be run. So a lot of the programs that we're beginning to put in are not run by me, they're run by experts in those fields. And we'd like to pass that on to individuals who are really keen, have the time, one, and really keen, as opposed to you know, trying to pull blood out of stone, so to speak. So the guys who, you know, obviously who didn't pitch with no apology, and we've asked them to apologize, we're going to be telling them their funding is going somewhere else in 2020. So if you, Matapelo, if you, Hillman, if you, any of you see these programs coming up, please put your hand up and say, you know what, I'd like to join this program. Is there sponsorship available for it? And we'll certainly run around looking for that, because we are getting that in.
Yeah.
If you keep going to Dinana, she's going to get upset with me, so don't keep going to her. So please do that. And we're not looking for quantity of people, we're looking for quality of people. I'd rather, you know, Bonolo's on 5 programs than have 5 people on 1 program each. That's the way we're thinking. Because if it helps you and it's informing you and it's advising you, then we will go and look for that funding for somebody to support you. Cool bananas.
Bonala has a question.
Bonola has a question.
Yes, I do. I wanted to ask, because on Monday, yes, it was Monday, I missed the class then. Is there a way that I can get it? Because I wasn't available. I had it in my work email.
No, understood. And you sent an apology, which was, wow. We were very grateful for. So 2 things. We will have it up, but the core products, the core ones on Self-Mastery, because it's always been the flagship, we repeat. So I'm going to be repeating that one in early January, but we will have it up as well. And we're going to get a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more precise in telling you where to go to watch it if you've missed it. The other ones are not going to have repeats. We will have them up online. So if you miss them, then you'll have to go online to catch them. But there won't be repeats because they're being done externally by other people.
Yeah. So the Monday repeat is actually on the 7th of January, less than a month.
So the 7th of January. When are you going back to school, Banolo?
In March. I think like.
Oh, varsity is in March. Can you believe it? Halfway through the year, they start varsity. Say that again?
You're doing first year. What course and which university?
I applied for actuarial and financial sciences at UP and Wits, but I really want to go to UP.
Actual financial sciences. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Hectic.
All right. So anything, Gilman? All good your side?
I'm good, Vic.
Cool. But there's Valuepreneur later on. So for those of you who are part of it, please feel free to come and join. And otherwise, hunky dory. I think today, Gilman, this Valuepreneur, that's the last one until January. And then we kick off again in earnest in January. And please go and see the timetables on the calendar on the website. There's a lot of programs done by a lot of people from all over the world that we are adding on there. Jump in and learn. Networking program. I'm on that program. I'm going to pay for myself to be on that program.
Yeah, Vic, I haven't spoken to Mpumelelo, but I'll check with him if he's available for that session. Otherwise, I don't know if it would be. I don't know how you said. If it would be good if not both of us are not there at the same time.
Look, I mean, I'll be there. So if one of you comes on, both of you comes on, that's fine. It's entirely up to you guys. If you feeling that you want to leave it and start, next year, that's also entirely up to, I know it's December, boss. So I know it's Thursday, December afternoon. And the last thing Hillman wants to be doing is talking about Valuepreneur. So yeah, let me know. I'll be on. So in December, I don't take it personally. Because I'm a little bit of the same. I'm that far away from falling over. So I need tomorrow, and then I can rest for a week.
Anything from Nico and Matapelo?
Anything from the lawyers?
The lawyers are quiet.
The lawyers have had a long day, but we're good for now.
Awesome.
Cool. All righty.
If we don't apologize when we don't attend, the problem is we will think we'll attend and then something just comes up.
No, and that's understandable. That's understandable. But one of the key elements of self-mastery, personal excellence, and performance is even in the final death hour, 5 minutes before, 2 minutes before, just send a note. Look, things have just gone left field. We can't make it. That's I mean, if it was a client, you would do that. And my advice is to you, make it a habit, whether it's a client, whether it's a family friend, whether it's whoever it is. Make it a habit that you are consistent, because remember, behind it, there's a thing called reliability, which is a skill, by the way. And you don't want to be perceived as, unreliable, so it's something again about your personal brand. What does your personal brand say about you? So I'm like that, whether it's work, personal, otherwise. I notify and say, dude, we were going to meet for a drink, but just can't. And by the way, the other thing that you should learn is you don't have to explain, because sometimes when you explain, you look for the lie, right? Or the fib. You don't have to explain. A simple, dude, guess what? who were
Can't make
supposed to
it.
meet just can't make it. Can we just catch up the next time? Again, something I've been practicing for many years, because usually it's, dude, there's a fire. Okay, so it's just, sorry folks, I thought I could make it, I can't make it, and that's it. You generally don't owe people explanations unless you are seriously letting them down.
Cool. Cheerio, everyone.
Noted.
Fantastic. Okay, see you soon. Behave, be safe. Wave 2 has started. Put your mask on, sanitize, social distance.